young independent country, that is important, for outside countries to see that you can do it all on your own.
100%.
So the pandemic really showed them that they could really do this.
Pandemic pushed a lot of people in a positive direction.
It did.
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. Super excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Estonia is a country which regained its independence 30 years ago.
In the 20th century, we're a really poor country. We couldn't build an average paper-based bureaucracy, and thus we chose digital tools. We didn't also have the money to buy products from large-scale companies such as IBM, SAP, or others. So we needed to invent our own.
Estonia is very nature friendly, so people really love the nature. But the other side of this is that we also want to have all the services digital, and now 99% of our public services are already digital.
The COVID pandemic for Estonia, I think, was a very good stress test, because we, in a kind of, had preparing for that moment for 25 years. So when it happened, all of our governmental functions could remain intact. This meant collecting taxes, voting, decision-making, making laws and other things. Most of the business remained operational and could...
Hold up, wait a minute. Because a lot of us was running around like our necks was cut off. Okay? Like some chickens with our necks cut off. They was ahead of the game, and what I like that he said is they couldn't order things from, other corporations. So they wanted to create their own everything.
Right.
And when you are a young, independent country, that is important, for outside countries to see that you can do it all on your own.
100%.
So the pandemic really showed them that they could really do this.
Pandemic pushed a lot of people in a positive direction.
It did.
continue at business as usual.
We want to go further. We want to, give these services also to residents outside Estonia. So we have e-residence program. People who are living elsewhere can also access our digital services. They can establish a company and run the company while they are not living here, but enjoy the services that we do.
Wow.
EO59 is called EO59 because Rapla, Estonia, where we're sitting right now, is 59.0000 degrees latitude north. It's one of the only GPS coordinates on the globe of a town that doesn't have a decimal place after the number. Radar on spaceships. It was actually one of the first Earth observation techniques in history in the 1960s. And what they need to do is see through the clouds. On a cloudy day like today, how can you observe what's happening, right, with an optical spaceship? You can't. Well, if you take a radar system and glue it to a satellite, then you can actually observe the whole planet's motion in a day, and you can see what's happening underneath it. Well, if you take those images and you stack them on top of each other, you can see how much something moves. Just a few months ago, many Americans will remember the tragedy in Surfside, Florida, where Champlain Tower South collapsed. EO59 was contracted to help support the US government in determining how safe the surrounding buildings were and potentially determining the cause of failure of that structure, and our data was critical to that community in assessing that situation. Data that we delivered from Estonia and Italy and the United States in a global effort to support America in a time of great crisis.
Estonia legalized the testing of self-driving vehicles in 2017 March, being one of the first countries in the world that would allow the testing of self-driving vehicles on all public roads in our country. This has provided us with about 6 or 7 different companies that are currently building self-driving mobility solutions in our country. So we can see self-driving package delivery robots on our streets every day, and it is become the new normal.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. though, because they actually wanted to not put it on wheels. They wanted to put it in the air and deliver packages that way at one point.
I did hear that.
I forgot what company that wanted to do
Walmart
that.
or Amazon?
It was either Walmart or Amazon. I think it's more so Amazon. I think it was more so Amazon that wanted to do that. They wanted to deliver the packages through air at one point. So I'm familiar with this, but it's interesting to see that they're doing this around the world like this. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily new to anybody else who may discover that another company wants to do it. It's just that, like, again, people lean on different ideas.
Right. And Estonia, you know, certain countries are known for different things, you know. Like ours is, we have a big military. That's one of the things we're known for. So with Estonia being such a young country at 30 years old or something like that, and being able to help a country that's going through a crisis with the data, like, that's good. That's really good. But things like this, I have mixed feelings with.
Yeah.
Like the vehicles that are self-driving. I don't trust them vehicles.
Well, first and foremost, our tax system and our economic climate.
And that's a pretty poor business.
Internet voting is something that we are very proud of, and I'm really surprised why other countries haven't taken this up. It also comes from the idea of this digital revolution. If people are more and more living their lives online, they're doing everything online, socializing online, buying online, but the one thing that they can't do online is to elect representatives to the parliament. So if they can't do it there, they just alienate from the state. In my government, half of the ministers are also women. So this is the first time where we have a balance in the government, and I think it's a step to the right direction. We see more and more women in top leadership positions in everywhere in Nordic countries, and Estonia is no exception to it.
We have a small open economy, and our businesses always think global. In addition, of course, we have a legally permissive ground for all things digital and AI.
I think the future of self-driving vehicles is about actually a shared urban mobility scheme, which means that we can build very efficient mobility systems with about 20 times less vehicles as people are using nowadays. And this 20 times less vehicles becomes a kind of a common public infrastructure. I think we can provide a new model of governance for the whole world, which hopefully will be much more human-centric, much more close to nature, much more creative, innovative, flexible and adaptive. Because one of the biggest problems the whole world is facing is that changes are happening faster and faster. Basically, when the steam engine was invented a while ago, it resulted in an exponential growth curve of ideas, people, and all these kind of things.
What America was like 30 years after it was born. Imagine a place that has the energy and the will to actually accomplish anything that it can dream up. And that's the one thing that we're searching for. The one thing that Estonia has that's so gosh darn special is that thing inside of all of us as Americans that cries out to us, hey, change the world. Well, you can do it here. Here is where you can change the world.
I think where good patterns are being implemented, a lot of people going to follow along with it, especially if it's making money. But again, you don't want a business that's just self-driven by money, because then you become, you know, isolated with the idea of, oh, I'm all about the money. And you don't want to be that. You want to be able to network, communicate, and help other people and businesses grow as well. I think this is fire. I do see this whole generation and so forth turn into a technical thing. But again, it's like it's happening sooner than expected.
Right. It's interesting to see a country build off of off of the businesses, you know, and they're not taxing them until they succeed. And,
yeah,
you know,
that's important.
So I love how they recognize that it's the businesses that are helping their economy to grow and their country to grow.
The love.
So that is really cool.
The love is there.
Yeah, so we hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as our reaction request form is in our description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.